Alright, so in this video on the Daily Push, this is part 2 of the video on whole foods. So in the first part, I went over everything to do with whole foods and how they affect your skating. And in this video, I'm going to be dropping those 3 hacks that are going to help you make better food choices to power your skating. Alright, so I'm underneath the Shabba Shabba tree and I've got my tip out. In fact, all 3 of the tips, because this is the part of the video where I'm going to be dropping those 3 nutrition hacks that are going to improve how you skate and how you feel when you skate. So tip number 1 is to think of the way that you eat on a continuum and make manageable changes. So think of the way you eat on a continuum from better to worse relative to where you're at right now. So better is going to be more whole foods and minimally processed foods, whereas worse is going to be more heavily processed foods. And just think of how you can move just like a little bit further up that continuum towards that better side. It's not about trying to live up to this like perfect, ultimate, like godly diet and trying to change absolutely everything at once, because we all know what those huge life plans are like, that you try and change everything at the same time and then 2 weeks later you're just doing the exact same shit that you were doing before. Instead, think of something that you know that you can definitely stick to. Make it like 90% sure that you can definitely stick to it, even if the change feels like so small that it feels stupid and embarrassing, like a willy in the cold. That's still better than picking something that you're not going to end up sticking to in like a week's time. So for example, something would be like if you go out and you eat KFC like every single day, maybe you would choose a restaurant that doesn't deep fry everything, or maybe you'd cook up some chicken and chips at home or something like that. Maybe you'd go for like brown rice over white rice like 1 day a week. Maybe you'll try and add some healthy fats like some nuts or maybe some berries to your breakfast. So yeah, all about those small little changes that you know you can definitely stick to. Alright, so hack number 2 is to start reading your food labels. This is because the food industry is probably like the scammiest industry on the whole planet. Like at every single opportunity they're trying to scam us and trick us into thinking that their products are healthy or like good for us, when in reality they're just full of shit that does the absolute opposite. And often this is made worse as well because there are so many words that don't have like regulations behind them. So you can put like all natural on your like shitty cereal and make it sound like something that's actually healthy. And they use these different words to trick us into thinking that their foods are good for us. And other kind of words as well, you got things like gluten-free, sugar-free, maybe low calorie, low fat. Often they take out like one of these nutrients that they're claiming to be bad for us, but then they replace them with a load of other extra crap as well, which maybe is even actually worse for you than the thing that they're claiming isn't in the food. So you might pick up, for example, some all-natural blueberry jam, and maybe you sit there next to your mate at the breakfast table and you look down at him with his blueberry biscuits and you're like, this piece of shit right here, he doesn't know anything about nutrition. I've got my all-natural blueberry jam, I'm killing the game. And maybe in reality, if you actually do apply hack number 1 and you have been eating like just blueberry biscuits for breakfast, then a solid progression would actually be something like blueberry jam in with your oats, and then maybe after that you'll progress to like full-on blueberries in with the oats as well. But yeah, the key is to always just check those ingredients, because even though the package might seem like it's super healthy and super nutritious, when you go in and actually like check the ingredients and you're like, wait a second sir, this is just sugar, there's only 3 blueberries in here, then you're like, okay, maybe it's not as nutritious as I thought it was. And as well, the more you check those ingredients lists as well, the more you'll be able to catch out those scammy marketers, as you realize that the stuff that they're saying on the front of the packet doesn't reflect in any way the shit that's on the back of the packet. Alright, so hack number 3 is to set up your environment for success. So this one isn't as essential as the other ones, but it's going to make your life so much easier. If you've got your environment that's just set up to like drag you down and make you fail, and all the stuff that you're trying to avoid is there surrounding you and easily accessible, then it's going to be so much harder to like stick to your goals. Like if I've got a cake on my table, mate, that cake is getting destroyed. There won't be a single crumb of that cake left. In comparison to if it's in the cupboard, then I'm just going to be much less likely to get up and actually go and eat the cake. So, but setting up your environment isn't going to be a replacement for willpower or like pushing yourself through discomfort. You know, like sometimes choosing that healthier option as opposed to the thing that you're trying to avoid is going to be uncomfortable, and you have to like really push yourself through it to actually make that choice. But having your environment like set up to help with your goals is just going to make things so much easier. It's just going to make it so much easier to stay consistent with what you're trying to do. So check out thedailypush.com and also the Daily Push Instagram. I've been putting up a load of different like food ideas up on there recently. So maybe make like a little list and just go on a little shopping trip. Stock up your cupboards so your environment is set up to support what you want to do. And as well, this includes the skate environment, which I think is one point where like a lot of people don't have under control, because we go out on like full day missions and the only options are like maybe some shitty fast food or like the supermarket for maybe some blueberry biscuits, and that's all you've got, you know. So one thing that I personally do is the night before I'll just cook double, and then I'll have a full meal prepared, whack it in a little Tupperware, take it on the session. Maybe as well when you go shopping you can stock up on some like dried fruits, maybe some nuts, some other fruit or whatever, and just have the foods that you're trying to eat there ready for you, and just for you to make like the simple choice, you know. Grab the food, put it in the bag, and you're done. So I guess that's it for this one. Jimmy, is that it for this one? Yeah. Alright, yeah, it seems like that's it for this one. Make sure you subscribe for regular content that's going to improve how you skate and how you feel when you skate. And like we said, that's it for this one.